I laid on the floor for a good 30 to 45 minutes after he kicked me in my stomach. He stomped me in my head and dragged me all around the room. As I was laying there, I thought it was a nightmare that I needed to wake up out of. And as I lay there, I got up, I went to a friend's house, and I told her what happened, and she said, "You can stay here as long as you would like." While I was there for 4 days, I was like, let me just go home and just recoup. As I was going to her room, she was on the phone laughing about my situation. I ended up going back into that situation because at this point, I had no family because I was kicked out of my father's house at a younger age. I have no friends. I had nobody to turn to. I didn't know who to trust or who to talk to. But God had a plan. God had a plan for me, but I didn't understand it. I went back into that relationship and I stayed there for 6 years being abused day in and day out. I was pistol whooped. I woke up in a pool of blood. When he put that gun to my head and hit me, I was knocked out cold on the floor. I thought I was dead. I woke up in a pool of blood and my tooth was missing. I was pushed out of a moving vehicle when I was yet again 3 months pregnant with my son. This time, I almost died. I got up from when he pushed me out of the moving vehicle, and I walked all the way from Sovereigns, Maryland to Arundel Mills Mall. Bloody, busted up, and broken, and nobody stopped. And as I was just in my sorrow, in my pain, I was so suicidal. I literally used to go inside of the kitchen and look at which knife that I wanted to use to kill myself. I used to literally plot in my mind how I wanted to kill him, how I wanted to kill myself. But God had a greater plan. I cannot stress that enough. God had a greater plan. I remember one day I came home from church and he said, "Why don't you call on the God that you serve? I'm going to beat you. Nobody would ever want you. Everybody would look at you and everybody would laugh at you. I'm going to see if God can save your life. Why don't you call on the God that you serve?" And as he was beating me, he beat me and pushed me out the door and say, "I want everybody to look at you and laugh because you have no God." And when he pushed me out the door, bloody and all, I went in the back of the Range Rover truck because we had a truck and one of the doors could not close. I literally went inside of the truck and I laid in the back of the truck and I cried out to God, and God said nothing. And I cried and cried till I literally fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I woke up and I went back into the situation yet again. It was just a cycle that was going over and over and over. And 2011 was my breaking point. 2011 when I literally wanted to kill myself. 2011, I was literally sitting in the house watching a woman on the news. She drove off the bridge with her 4 kids. And one of them survived and was able to tell that tale. And when the child was able to tell that tale, he said, "My mommy couldn't take it anymore, and she drove off the bridge to kill all of us." And my daddy was the one that was abusing her, and she couldn't take it. And as I'm watching this lady, I said, this is exactly how I feel. He came in the house, and I said, this is exactly how I feel. He got so angry, it was as if a demon stepped inside of him. And he was like, "Why don't you go kill yourself? Don't nobody want you. Wouldn't nobody care about you? Why don't you just go kill yourself and leave my children alone?"